Good evening, everyone. My name is Chris Cooper, known as the Channel Guy Trader, and I'm reporting to you live from Wall Street Trading Satellite Office down in sunny South Florida. Today's date is Tuesday, October the 16th, 2012, and here is today's After the Bell market summary. Want to first start by taking a look to see how the indices closed here. The Dow Jones closed up 127.55 points. The NASDAQ closed up 36.99, call it 37. S&P 500 closed up 14.79 points. Strongest index across the board was the NASDAQ, up 1.21% here. Taking a look at the breadth, we had 4,391 issues advancing. We had 1,785 issues declining on the NYSE, NASDAQ, and AMEX. If we take a look across the sectors, the market pretty much had a nice update today across the board. Apple had a nice reversal today. Amazon was trading a little bit crappy today, if you ask me. I mean, it took forever to show some strength, and it showed some strength, and it gave most of the action back when the market started selling off a bit. So we'll take a look at that chart here. But I was not able to do a midday market update, and I wasn't really much active after, say, 11 o'clock, because I went up to Boca Raton. I did a presentation for the students at Florida Atlantic University for the investment and trading club. So that was pretty interesting to see, to speak with them and talk with some students and see that they're interested in trading and learning about the financial market. So pretty good stuff. And just on top of that, I wasn't involved in anything after, like I said, after 12 o'clock. So when I came back, I see the market rolled over a bit, then held up. I see IBM came out with their earnings, and their earnings was not good. The stock sold off a lot. We'll discuss all that stuff. But I wanted to go over how we were set up in the morning. Again, since I did not do a midday market update, show you guys how we were prepared in the chat room, which is mywallstreettv.com. Password to log in is smart. How we had our traders lined up. We recognize this overnight range right here between this little band that we've been watching, and actually traded in this little band zone from overnight, and had a nice little rally. Bull flag right into this key trend line. If you guys remember that key trend line on the 15-minute chart, that was the old channel. Let me maximize this grid real quick here. Take off these studies so you guys can see this a little bit cleaner. 1 second. All right, so this key red trend line was that little upward channel that we were trading in before we broke down. All right, notice how the trend line is still acting relevant. That's why you always keep these key trend lines on your charts. And going into today's session, nice overnight range, nice little bull flag on top of that range, right below this key trend line that we were watching. Highlighted this morning, this was a nice bull flag setting up, and told the traders in the chat room, as long as we stay above this key trend line, you want to be looking to the long side. Target was 1450. We hit that target, we pulled back in, then we hit the next target, 1452, after the market closed up here. As the market continues to go high right now, we have the debates tonight, so that's going to be pretty important to watch. That's a 15-minute chart, and just to show you guys on the 5-minute chart real quick, and then we'll start doing our regular daily analysis. You can see that's a key trend line. So we broke above it, out of this little flag on the 5-minute, above that key trend line, broke above it, back test held, nice volume came in, and off the races we went. So anyway, let me move this out the way and show you guys the daily chart action, what we have going on. And I want to start with the VIX volatility index. Gap down today, but traded higher. But you can see here that right now we're starting to pull away from this key trend line that we're watching from the top of this channel. If the volatility index gets back below 15, and holds below that, we can make a move back down towards 1356. And obviously, if we break 1356, you can expect this market to rally off of no fear in the market. Everybody just buying stocks, I guess. But I don't want to get too ahead of myself. We'll wait and see. But just recognize the volatility index is back in this little support zone. So we could chop around here and maybe trade back up, or if we hold below 15, we could get some nice selling pressure down here towards 13.5. So keep that on watch. Now let's take a look at the SPY S&P 500 ETF here. All right, respect to that nice little level that we highlighted was a nice little triple support area from the prior resistance, which now acts as support on this side like it's been doing. Also from the moving averages, and also from the trend line. So a triple support area and nice upward action today, just like we expected. Just sucks that me personally, in my own account, I had some Amazon on, and I had some IBM. IBM did nothing. I sold some of that. I sold some of the calls and lightened up the calls a lot right into the close. And good thing I did that, because now the stock gapped down from earnings. Amazon traded, Amazon traded all right. and it held up. It's holding up pretty well, but I would have expected this to have rally like Apple did. But then again, it's Amazon, so we'll see. So anyway, back to the SPY. It just goes to show you that the market had a nice update today, but some stocks didn't really trade up to the top side that clean, like like an Apple or like what's another stock that like a Fossil. Fossil had a nice day today. So anyway, back to the SPY. Let me stop jumping around here. Take a look back at the SPY. Looking for a move back up to the SPY towards this 147 area. We still remain in this nice little upward channel, and this could be the new range right here between 142.5 and 147 until we break out of it. Okay, now let's take a look at the ES. All right, see what the ES is looking like here. So far, our target to the downside, which we called from all the way up here. Move this out the way. Our target to the downside, which we called right here towards 1420, got bought up, and now we're back at the next target. Remember, this is a range. All right, it's at a slight angle, but it's still a channel range. So what do you do in a range? You buy the highs. I'm sure you buy down here. That was the original breakout. Short the highs. Buy down here. Short the highs. Buy down here. And we're going to see, are they going to short the highs or are we going to break out? So tomorrow's going to be a very interesting day to see some more clues to make sure we don't get no trap action like we've been getting up here. That's what I'm watching out for, guys. See if we get any trap action like we had before in the past. All right, if we can get a nice close above this trend line and get a nice green close and even close above this little pivot high right here, this little high right there from last week Monday, we can maybe get some traction and start going back up towards those highs. All right, so we're at a very interesting area. Everything's lining up. We take a look at the U.S. dollar. All right, we take a look at the U.S. dollar. The U.S. dollar is gapping down. I just got home to this, and my friend told me that there's some news out of Spain on the hopes of a bailout or something. So the U.S. dollar is gapping down, and then guess what? The euro dollar is moving higher. If you guys recall what I said last week in the weekend review, I was like, look, guys, the market's pulling back to trading back sideways to choppy to the downside. However, the euro's hanging in there. The euro's staying strong. Well, guess what? We got a breakout in the euro above this key channel trend line that we've been watching here. All right, this is the same thing, our nice little range that's being traded, and it's breaking out. You guys see that? That's for the candlestick. That's the current candlestick right now. Okay, let's even take a look at the 15-minute chart. You can see this thing just ripped above our little yellow zone right here. So if we can get a move above this key trend line around the 130 area, 130, we can make a nice move back up towards this key trend line that we're watching from the previous breakdown we had. You guys see this nice little trend line from the nice little triangle we had breakdown? Just to go show you guys, that's why that red area is important, and that's where we had that original breakout. All right, so we could go get a back test up there towards 133. So if this euro takes off whatever news, that we can see these markets higher. Let's take a look at the Qs. I know I'm jumping all over the board here, so bear with me. Sorry about that. Let's take a look at the Qs here. Qs are back above 67.41. That is good. Remember, this was prior support. It broke down, acted as resistance, and now we're back above it. As long as we can hold above 67.41 and then get back above the 68.65 area, we can make a nice move back up towards these highs. So Qs are looking interesting. One thing you can use as a momentum trend line is draw this little high right here to this high and use that as a gauge. So you can expect maybe a nice move up towards that trend line like so. We'll see how that plays out. Now let's take a look at the IWM. All right, IWM was while the markets were trading higher, IWM, let's take a look at the 5-minute chart. You can see IWM was just basically trading sideways. But keep an eye on this here. If the IWM can break back above this above this 83.62 area, we can make a nice move back up towards the top of this channel right here, or this little price resistance band that we have. You can see we have a gap fill that comes in around 84.15 or so. So be on the lookout for the IBM. Take a look at the 60-minute chart. You can see this nice little consolidation that it had today, holding this base around 83. Nice little setup here for a range break strategy play. If it holds up above the breakout or holds down, if we do break down, we'll have to wait and see, which I don't expect that because the ES is making new highs right now. So that's that. Let's take a look at gold. The miners had some nice traction today. GLD, a nice little buy area off this 168 level. Got to watch to see if you can get back above 170.50 or so and hold. So we can get back above all these moving averages up here, back above 170, 150 actually. Take a look at the GDX. GDX miners had a nice little day today. Take off all my channel studies and stuff here to clean the chart up for you guys. You can see nice little pullback into the 50-day simple moving average. Didn't even touch it, but came close to it. One thing you can use as a momentum trend line is to draw this little trend line right here, like so. All right, so if we can get a break above this candlestick right here, this thing could be back up towards 55. What else here? Silver. Let's take a look at silver. Up 27 cents. Not a strong bounce like gold today, but right on the moving average, right on the 50-day simple moving average. And if they want to buy silver, it's at a nice support area from the 3150 area from back here and against that moving average. Let's take a look. Took a look at the dollar. Took a look at the VIX. Took a look at everything. Let's take a look at the Dow Jones futures just because this was a nice little clean channel to see how it respected that bottom trend line. And we got a nice little bounce off of there. Now the Dow Jones as well was at a triple support area from the previous resistance, acting as support from the moving averages and from the trend line, just like the SPY. So that lined up pretty well. Let's take a look at some stocks now. Apple, of course, this stock had a nice reversal day. All right, you can see how it held above 620, this little price zone, and if it could get back above 650, this thing could be back up to the races up towards 680. So Apple definitely going to be keeping a close eye on Apple. Amazon, I would have expected to have gotten a better bounce today off this nice little candle. It's still hanging in there, and off the IBM, you know, this stock wasn't one of the tech stocks that sold off because probably people will be worried about Amazon because they have earnings next week. So it didn't do that, little fiasco. So Amazon's still in play, obviously. If it can make a move over today's high, it should get a nice continuation towards 250 and keep Amazon on watch. Let's take a look at FOSL. Some guys were watching this right here, so I want to make sure I mention this. Some guys in this group, in one of the Facebook groups that I trade with or follow, I should say, we all trade together. We had a nice little. They saw them talking about this fossil. Stock looks pretty good to set up over 93.65. Definitely keep an eye on that as it's been trading in a range between 82 and 82 and this 94 level, so call it a $12 range there, and had some nice volume come in today. So definitely fossils on watch. We take a look at, let's see here. Again, I wasn't in front. I really wasn't in front of the screen so much today. So let's take a look at Goldman Sachs. Let's see how the banks did. Goldman Sachs made a new high, came right back in, and closed at the middle of the range. See here, Morgan Stanley. This one's hanging in. They have earnings. Looks like they have earnings on Thursday. Take a look at Bank of America. They have earnings tomorrow. Definitely going to be a stock to watch. See if you can take out this 980 level and trade above 10. They have earnings tomorrow before the bell. It's going to be very interesting there. And let's see here, Wells Fargo. Let's see what Wells Fargo's doing. Wells Fargo's still trading weak. Wells Fargo's one of the weaker banks out there. As you can see, Citigroup's one of the stronger banks out there. Next target on Citigroup is going to be up here towards 38, 37. So that's about it, guys. I'm going to do some more research later on tonight. I have some more ideas for you guys in the chat room tomorrow. If you have not been in the chat room, it is mywallstreettv.com. Password is SMART. And you can check out the website as well to watch the videos on the My Wall Street TV tab on the upper right-hand side. And the website is wallstreettrading.com. Have a great night, guys, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow morning in the trading room.